Hey guys, so, hold on. Okay. Let me put on, hold on. Yes, my darling.
Spider-Man really do this? Look.
Huh? Does he do what? Yeah, he does everything. He's a Spider-Man.
Is it
Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man can. Okay.
Are you not saying Spider-Man?
I'm putting my,
Are you not saying Spider-Man? Spider-Man does whatever
Hey,
Spider-Man
Sonia.
does. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever Spider-Man can.
My button came off. I'll have to sew that on. Sew that back on, honey.
But it still works.
Okay. There we go. That way I don't look like a... So, what's up, Sonia? I'm sorry you missed yesterday, but girl, it was epic. I was so excited. I had so much fun just going over the big book study and doing the doctor's opinion with you guys. Like, it was really fun. And I get really excited whenever I start, hey, Lisa, when I start, like, reading stuff that I can connect to. So I remember the first time I ever, like, really understood the doctor's opinion, right? Because I had read it so many times before, right? Because I had tried to get sober probably 10 times, you guys, before. You know, 10 good times, 10 good tries, 10 tries where I gave it my all, right? Like, really tried. And I would fail. So I had read it to read a chapter a day from the Blue NA Basic Book. Good job. And you know, the AA book, you guys, like where it says alcohol, you can just replace that with substances or pills or crack or, you know, for me, alcohol and drugs are synonymous. They're the same thing because I can't use alcohol or drugs because whenever I drink, it makes me want to do other stuff. So, but not everybody is an alcoholic that's an addict. You know what I'm saying? Some people can drink and it doesn't affect them at all. But I'm just not that kind of person. I mean, I'm sure I could go out and have a beer, like at the restaurant, but I just don't test it because it's just too scary. I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. I don't want to lose my sobriety. I've worked really hard to get to where I'm at. So last night we read the doctor's opinion, and in the doctor's opinion, which is the opinion of a doctor, it's a doctor, right? Dr. Silkworth, he talks about the disease of addiction and how it affects the mind and the body. So we're not just, you know, physically addicted, but we're mentally addicted, right? And so for a lot of us, that helps us understand, right? Because so for many years I thought I was just a bad person and that, you know, I was drinking and using because I had no self-control. Okay? But that's just not even that is what society wants us to believe. Society wants us to believe that we are just weak-minded people, right? As long as we are honest about our limitations, I think we can be in a good place. I do too. And so that's why I just don't drink. So society would like us to think that we are just weak and we just make bad choices because we're bad people and we want to be drug addicts, right? But in the doctor's opinion, it talks to us about how our brains are different than that of a regular person's. And that in a person who doesn't have the disease, you could give them alcohol or drugs, and their brain is not going to respond the same way as a person who has addiction. Okay, so our brains respond with that phenomenon of craving. Okay, So what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs and we're going to look up a couple things. Hey, Computer Blue, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Haven't seen you around except for over on Nikki's channel. So what's up? There, I just had to put some moisturizer and stuff on my face. We're going to go look up some stuff real fast, and we're going to talk about what the phenomenon of craving means. Okay? So the disease concept is what I was talking about last night before I got off with you. That it's like the process that our minds go through when we take drugs and alcohol into our bodies. The trigger, thought, obsession, use, craving, right? That's think about, because a lot of us, we don't really think about what happens when we drink and use, right? So it's like if you can sit down and you can think about times where you were driving down the road, right? And before you got high, right? So let's say you've been sober for a couple days. Okay, so you sobered up, right? And you've got 5 days sober. And you really want to be sober, like you're changing your life, right? You don't want to get high anymore, okay? There we go. And so you're driving down the street. You don't want to get high anymore. But you're driving and you see your friend, right? You see your dope dealer. You see what you think is his car, right? And so you're driving past and you see, my dope man's name was Z. I see Z's car, a Malibu, a maroon Chevy Malibu. And right when I see his car, because I've seen his car so many times during drug deals, I've been inside his car, I've chased his car down, I've jumped on the hood of his car. I mean, I know this car, right? I see his car and I'm triggered. A thought comes into my mind. Oh, maybe that's Z. Maybe he has pills, right? So that's my trigger. Okay, and then that thought pops into my mind about, oh, maybe that's Z. Maybe he has pills. Okay, but it's okay with a thought. I can move past that, right? I can change what I'm thinking of. I can go hang out with some friends that are sober. I can go to a meeting. I can call my sponsor. Or I can sit there and I can obsess over whether that was Z or not. And but before I know it, I am obsessing so hard on whether that was Z or not. I turn around in my car and I drive back to see if it was Z. So I'm obsessed. I've obsessed to the point where I'm driving back to see if it's Z. Well, damn the shit. It was. What's up? What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in years, right? Oh, I'm doing good, girl. I'm doing good. You looking good. Oh, yeah. I'm 5 days sober. Can you tell I got a little weight on me? Oh, yeah, girl. You look good. You don't want none of what I got then. And then what do you mean? Oh, you know, them Roxy's. I got them Roxy's. Them blues. Oh, I'll take some of them blues. Let me go get my wallet. See, because I'm 5 days sober now, and I got a little bit of money in my pocket. So I give him some money, and I get me some Roxy's, and I use. Okay? And the minute I use, you guys, that phenomenon of craving sets in, and I need more, right? Those couple of blues ain't going to hold me, right? So I have to go get more. And then I get more, and I'm back on that vicious cycle, right? The vicious cycle of feeling remorseful, wishing I hadn't done it, kicking myself in the ass. Trigger, thought, obsession, use, craving. Vicious cycle, baby. We're back at it again. Z done got me again. It occurs in the average temperate drinker. So this craving doesn't happen to addicts and alcoholics because we have the disease of addiction. And it's like, some people will say, well, how do you know if you have the disease? You don't know until you take drugs and alcohol into your body, you guys. Like, and that's the thing, because it's an allergy that's set off, right? It says the phenomenon of craving. How do you overcome it? Let's read this. Yeah, I'm live. What's up, Amber? So it says, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines the word craving as an intense, urgent, or abnormal desire or longing for something. The thought of it being abnormal does seem very relevant when you think about it. Cravings usually occur because of something specific evoking them, like a trigger. We wake up and we perform through our 24-hour day in one way or another, and having a craving is something out of the norm, at least for normal people. They just kind of occur every once in a while when a good strong hankering for some pie kicks in or something like that. Then you can bring the addicts and alcoholics like myself into the picture. We take that very thought process and flip it with our demented alcoholic thinking. As the old Narcotics Anonymous saying goes, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. We, the addicted, leech on to anything that makes us feel good and gives us a reaction to the pleasure center in our brains where all the dopamine is released. This can range anywhere from sex to chocolate, from gambling to exercise, or from drugs and alcohol, right? The last of the feel-goods mentioned is what most usually revert to. But keep in mind that the phenomenon of craving can occur with any addiction. Food addiction, sex addiction, gambling addiction. Oh, well, girl, I worked today and I worked my ass off. I work 5 days a week and I go in the morning and I love my job. But it's a perfect kind of job for me because I can go in and do my thing. It's just so cool. I love it. After we find our substance of choice and are hooked, it's like all we think about typically, right? We make it a point of being attached to whatever it is that is filling that hole inside of us. Oftentimes, there is this void that we have yet to discover that typically is a systematic root of our abuse, but is not the full reason for it. So, there's like, for me, drugs and alcohol filled this void of like, that I wasn't cool enough, that I wasn't pretty enough, that I wasn't skinny enough, that I wasn't popular enough, right? And when I used drugs and alcohol, it made me feel like I was. It made me feel invisible, right? But if we go back deeper than that, that's like a self-esteem issue. That's a self-worth issue, right? I'm looking for something peer support field. Oh, yeah. You know what, Amber? You probably need to go and talk to the people at in the treatment centers that are in your town and see if you can work there. That's how you start out. Go there and just say, hey guys, like I got this peer support specialist certification and I really want to, use it and help others and see if there's something that you can do there. You might just start out like, seriously, girl, get your foot in the door. Go be the janitor at the rehab and work there and get their trust, and then they'll move you up. But you got to start at the bottom, you know what I mean? What's a DCBS case? Is that Department of Services? But hey Katie, what's up, girl? You know what, Amber? What I do is I just made my own way, girl, because where I live, there's not a lot of places that I could work at. Find a IOP or a clinic. Right, you could go work for like a methadone clinic and help there, or the Suboxone clinic. Yeah, Sonia, totally. I also had a long day with life here, getting things in order. How about you? Same. Just worked my ass off today, and now I'm trying to just talk to you guys and like just let you know, like I'm trying to. Here's the thing, you guys, with the disease of addiction, you guys. Yeah, I did. With the disease of addiction, you guys, it's a disease and it centers in our mind and our body. And so if you have that feeling like you're not a good person, because I have somebody from my Patreon who has been struggling, you guys, with, she thinks that she's a bad person, right? And it's like, no, you're not a bad person. You're sick. You have a disease, right? Am I making excuses for you and saying, oh, you're sick, you don't know what you're doing? No. There are things that we choose when we're in our active addiction, right? But when we're in active addiction, we are our brains are hijacked by the disease of addiction, okay? And the pleasure centers in our brain it's like the only thing we can see is what we need for relief, right? But so what happens is it's like a two-edged sword. Like, we all have to get to a point where when we're choosing to live, where we're choosing to reach out for help, where we're choosing life. Maybe that happened with you because you went to prison and you got in trouble, and that jump started you and pushed you forward into choosing to get help. Maybe you're choosing to get help because your kids got taken away and you were like, whoa, I don't want to lose my kids, or maybe you're choosing to get help because you're in drug court. But a lot of the times what happens is something has to happen to detrimental for us to like snap out, for us to have a moment of clarity where we can see things for what they really are. Because when we're in active addiction, all we're doing is killing ourselves. It's so sad, right? Now, sure, you might have started out having fun and partying and all that kind of stuff, but Nate, what's wrong?
Daddy's about to shoot me with the Nerf gun.
Oh, it might start out as like fun and games. It might start out as, hey, yeah, I'm just getting high, and kicking it with my friends. And I was listening to a song today while I was working, and it was like, I just popped a bunch of pills and I'm feeling just like a rock star, smoking so much, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking when I was listening to the song, y'all know what song I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, it used to be like I was a rock star taking pills and smoking, right? And getting high. But then what happens is you turn into this junkie, a lush, a drunk. It's like, I was watching this movie, The Dirt on Netflix, and it was showing all the guys from that one band. What's the band? Neil.
What?
The Dirt. What's that movie about?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue. Hey, Mama Ricky. Sorry, I got hooked on listening in front. Say hi. That's okay. Motley Crue. I was watching The Dirt, right? And it's all fun and games when you're partying and life's good, right? But then when you start fucking shit up and you start like killing yourself, shooting up and overdosing, it's like, yeah, that rock star lifestyle that I'm slanging dope, I'm cooking, I'm hanging out with the meth cooks, right? That was your girl. I was like, I'm cooking dope. Yes. I was the right hand man to the dope cook, right? Hey, Annie. That was cool for a little bit, you guys, right? And then what started happening is it wasn't cool anymore. It was like I was losing my life. I was killing myself. My hair was falling out. My teeth were going bad. I was starting to look like those people I said I would never be. I was starting to become that homeless girl on the side of the road that I used to say, oh, I'll never be like that. I'll never be like that. Me. And then, you know what? Guess who was like that? I was like that. Oh my gosh. Yes. I was listening to that song, Sonia, at work the other day. And I'm telling you, like, she says that she doesn't need a Xanny. And I love it. I'm like, yes, girl. Because here's the thing. In today's society, you guys, like, it's cool to pop Xanaxes and to smoke and to toot lines of pain until you're the junkie, until you can't function without it. It's not cool, and it really discourages me, you guys, when I hear these motherfuckers singing about this shit. Because these motherfuckers that are singing and rapping about doing dope and getting high, they're not getting high like I was. Because it took my life, okay? I shot meth for 10 years, okay? Shot Roxy's for about 7, okay? And I was getting high all day, every day, and it was not cool. It was the chains, you guys. It was the chains. They had me chained, right? No, they party for like one day and they think they're fucking rock stars. It's like, no, baby. Come over here and hang out with me. I'll take you out on a rockstar extravaganza. I'll show you what it's really like. Right, Brian. I did too. And it's like, you've never done Molly like I have, man. Right? You don't even know what it's like. Like, these people don't even understand. Oh, yes. I used to love listening to Lil Wayne. He has this song, right? Where he talks about, and he's at least an addict. Lil Wayne is a drug addict, y'all. He had this song back in the day where he talks about when all the drugs are gone, right? Only once the drugs are gone, I feel like dying. I feel like dying. That song, okay? And I used to listen to that song all the time, shitting dope, right? And I felt like I wanted to die, but I thought it was so cool at that time. But now I'm like, that's not cool. That's not cool. I was dying. I was burning my veins out, y'all. Like, I think about that. I was talking to my sponsee on the phone the other day, and I was telling him, meth has rat poison in it. Meth has gas and fuel in it. And I'm injecting it into my veins. It's like, what? How was that even okay, right? Exactly, Mama Ricky. We did it because we were struggling, right? And, oh gosh, you guys, I'm telling you, I wish people would rap about the struggle. I want to hear somebody rap about how they got high and then they came out of it, right? Because that's what it is. But it's like, it's just so sad, you guys, because I hear it all the time, right? Of people and all the music. Like I said, I was listening to music today while I was working, and I'm like, they don't know nothing about getting high. They ain't been there. Come over here, I'll take you out, right? Take you out, show you that I'll fucking have you chasing your tail. You wish you never came out with Mama Nicole. I'll show you a good time, and then I'll throw you to the wolves. But you know what, Brian, Bethany, we can look back at this, you guys, and we're like, they don't even know, right? I know, because it's me too, Lisa. I'm the same way, because it triggers the fuck out of me. Oh, he does? I didn't know that. I'll have to listen to him. But I'm just so proud of all you guys. Like, I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the disease concept and how, if you're on drugs, you guys, you're hijacked. And so if you can reach out and get help, if you can step out of that for a second and reach out for help, you can get better. You can change your whole life. And you don't ever have to go back to that life ever again. I see some people who just quit, and I'm like, how do they do that? And then I see some people who need treatment. Then I see some people who need Suboxone or methadone to get off dope. Just find something, y'all. Find whatever works for you and do it, okay? Don't get discouraged. You're not alone. You just got to know that. You're not alone. But anyway, my phone's like on 15%. So I wanted to come on here and just tell you guys how much I love y'all. And if y'all want to, I'll charge my phone up and I'll come on later on tonight. And we'll continue this conversation about, how people think it's cool to get high, but it's not. It's not. It's cool at the beginning because it's like you're not addicted. That's what it is. It's cool at the beginning because you don't have to use drugs to live. But then you cross over. You cross this imaginary line, right? Where you have to use to live. And if you don't have drugs in your system, then your life is fucking sucking, right? And that's what it is. The imaginary line that we all cross. It happens. I can't tell you when it happens for each person because it's different for everyone, right? I kind of do too. But it happens for everybody at a different time. And when you cross over that imaginary line from necessity, from having a good time and it just being like cool and fun to a necessity, to you have to have it to live, right? And it talks about that in the big book that we're going to be going over next week, Tuesday. Because if y'all didn't know, yesterday we did the doctor's opinion and it was fucking amazing. It was a great little meeting. We had a good time and I was getting all excited. And then next week, Tuesday, we're going to do Bill's story. So you need to come and hang out with us. But it talks about this shit in the big book, you guys, about how we cross over this from alcohol and drugs being a luxury. Because that's what it starts out as. It starts out as a party, a luxury, just party favors, just getting high, kicking it, getting fucked up, a luxury. And then we cross over to it being a necessity, and we have to do it to function. That's what happens. So maybe these people that are rapping, maybe they don't know. Maybe they ain't crossed over yet. Or they might not be addicts. They might not ever cross over. But if you're an addict, you know what I'm talking about. There's this imaginary line you cross over, and it becomes, it's a part of your life. And if you don't get high, then you want to die. So